properties.
Yeah, just see if you can specifically choose the USB, the mic.
There, we'll go with that one.
Okay.
So do we have a microphone on our camera and not this one? That's weird.
Oh, that would work. Is that what we're doing?
So I think we've got a microphone now.
Okay.
Let me know if we have a mic.
Let us know if you guys hear sound, if you can hear our...
Turn this up here so
voice.
we'll know then. Oh.
Oh, there we go. It can hear us now.
Do we still have a mic?
Mike or Bob.
Is it up now? I can't hear it. Oh.
Good, yeah, we're good.
Okay, so we have a microphone. We're going to just bypass this guy that's always worked for us.
That microphone, you guys, it just stopped working. I guess we'll have to get a new one or fix it or something. It worked just the other day.
Well, it was working 3 minutes ago.
Okay, you guys, welcome tonight. We are so glad you're all here.
That was too loud. We don't remember. It's not a good mic.
Oh, you don't want to. Okay.
So
quiet.
We're good.
Oh, I don't do quiet very well. Anyways, you guys, sorry about the technical difficulty there. We were just giving everybody a shout out and a welcome to everybody who's in the chat. It's so good to see everyone here. And we were also just saying how much we miss our friends. It's just so hard to be separated and have that border closed. I mean, the border's open for some people. It's not open for us. And also we have to work right now. This is just our season for working. We are going to talk about winter.
Yes,
we're going to talk about working while you're on the road. We're also going to do a little bit of recap. We're going to talk about heading northern Alberta when we did that in the summer in August.
I was also mentioning that we're using Wi-Fi campground. Sorry,
oh, yes.
Campground Wi-Fi.
Yes. And
that has not been the reason why my mic stopped working. But I'm still seeing a bit of an edit here that's causing me grief. But anyways, I'm going to cover that up so I don't see that anymore.
Yeah, looks like we got hot mic on. Melanator, hello again. We got lots of people in the house, you guys. This is fantastic. F&T, Over the Hill RV. We've got Melanetti. We've got Danny on a Dime. We've got Smooth Operator. We've got RV Living Life and Econobox Garage.
There we go.
And One Uno, 1965. Welcome here.
Serious?
Yes. And Stephanie Wakeham, Imperial RVing. Oh my goodness. Rietta Kirkley. Hi. Nice to see you, Rietta. And yeah, so many of you are here. This is fantastic. Let's get into our show.
So what's next on the stage, Lisa?
So next thing up is the question of the day. So the question of the day is, this month, so like for the rest of January, are you traveling or are you staying put? So if you're traveling, go ahead and put the name of the state or the town or the main event that you're going to go see for the month of January. And if you are staying put, just type in the chat something fun that you're going to do in January. I know a lot of people get the January blues. It's after Christmas. As you saw in the intro video, there's a lot of snow where we are. I was just saying while our mic was still muted, I think we were talking to Danny on a Dime. She is from Alberta.
Yeah.
She came to BC to get out of the snow and the winter, but...
And if you're in the Okanagan,
too bad.
You know what? Maybe you're getting the snow and the weather that you expected.
Yeah, that could be.
But we're in the lower mainland, which means we can have a storm come in off the Pacific or come in from the Arctic or something like that. And you know what? It just blows in and all of a sudden everything gets changed and it doesn't go back to the moderate weather for a while.
Exactly. So go ahead and put that in the chat. We've got a couple here already. Diary of a Family says keep her moving. Does that mean we need to keep on moving, or does that mean you guys are on the move? I know you guys are.
And then it says the Diary of a Family says they're stationary.
Yes, staying in the same area. I think switching campgrounds maybe. Econobox Garage does traveling back and forth to the garage count.
That's right.
I would say that's staying put. But definitely it is your fun thing that you're doing. So that's what I was going to say. If you're...
The dog wants to move.
I'll just turn the heater off. If you are going to be staying in your one location, just tell us what you're going to do for fun. Kent, what are we going to do for fun in the month of January? I don't even know if we have any plans.
I don't know. I've got some mess down here.
Oh, you're stuck?
Something's going on.
I was thinking it'd be really fun for us to do some hiking, some winter hiking. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get outside and play.
There, I let the dog out. Who let the dog out?
Yeah.
Does she have water?
Does she have water? Yeah, she does.
Oh, good. She found water. Okay.
All right, so we've got going nowhere fast for F&T. Okay, but what are you going to do that's fun this fall or this winter?
Hey, if January. You're not going somewhere, you still got to get out there and get doing stuff.
You can still grab life
that
by
takes
the tail.
care of, Makes you living.
All right, so we've got, Melanetti say, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Thank you. That would be awesome. We appreciate that. And don't forget that after this chat is over to go ahead and leave a comment below. And be sure to subscribe. If you haven't done that already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free. Diary of a Family is heading to Quartzsite.
Nice.
Let me read it. Quartzsite is where we were planning on heading, but our plans have changed. That's right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Day's Great Adventure. We are traveling around Texas with Melanetti.
Well done. Hey.
I love it. I love it when nomads get to travel together. We sometimes like to travel independently, but when you're traveling with another couple, another family, or a group of families, it is so much fun.
We usually highlight a channel, or we sometimes highlight a channel when we're doing our live streams, and we have a channel that we're going to be highlighting tonight.
That's right. So stay tuned so you can find out who that is. It's going to be awesome. Alrighty, so, and
Gordy Rock is here.
Good, hi Gordy. Last live stream, we highlighted Econobox Garage, so
yes,
be sure to check out his channel. Who else have we got? Where's everybody going? We've got, this is awesome. RV Living Life is, we will be in a ring of 100 coaches at Quartzsite. You guys, that is fantastic. I'm so glad you got out of Dodge, man. That's awesome.
Did you guys get your solar panels installed yet?
And if not, Quartzsite's a good place to install solar panels because
yes,
there's always somebody there to help you. It looks like Jim and Sue are headed to the Next Exit rally also. That's excellent. Is that the same one that you guys are talking about? Next Exit at Quartzsite? I haven't been in touch with all that, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's what you guys are doing.
She would be all in touch with that if it was an option for us to get there.
Yeah, for sure, if we were traveling. Danny on a dime says, do you need your passport to go across the border, or is your license enough? I'm pretty sure you need a passport.
Yes.
As well as all of your vaccination status and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
it's a little trickier than it used to be.
The status on the dog too.
Yeah, exactly.
Pets have to have their, do they ever ask? I don't know. But you're supposed to be up to date with everything with your pet when you go across the border, in case they ask.
Imperial RVing, they say that they're going to NASA Space Center in Florida. That's on my bucket list. I can't wait to go to NASA.
So NASA is the space center, because NASA is also an island, I think.
Oh, we're going to Florida, going to NASA. We're in Florida, going to NASA Space Center. Good. Awesome, you guys. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Gordy rocks in a shoe swap, and he's hope we're staying warm. Lots of snow there. I'll bet you guys do. You guys get huge, big storms.
And it doesn't melt like it does here. Like today and yesterday, it started raining. We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
That causes all kinds of grief when you have this much snow.
That looks like Craig Johnson. Welcome here. He's leaving soon to Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. It sounds like the warm place to be this winter. And we've got, who else here? Excellent. Ian says the Econobox Garage is open for tours if you're in the Calgary area.
Nice.
So be sure to stop in and
I guess
hi.
I was on the pre-tour.
That's right. Exactly. Awesome. Melanetti Living Free Zip Codeless gave us a Patreon link, so you can go ahead and check out our Patreon page. I kind of didn't do much on Patreon for the Christmas season, but we're back on it, and so we're going to be posting a lot more stuff over there.
And I've seen some links there, but I haven't been able to see them all. Is one of them our PayPal link for Living Light RV? Because, Super Chat, PayPal probably is more bang for your buck.
Well, we just had some people asking.
Yes.
So we have a tip jar over at PayPal. It's in the description too, if you need that link. So that's awesome. You guys, the chat is going fantastic. Hot air balloon ride in February for Jim and Sue. That's fantastic.
New Mexico, right?
Yeah, RV Living Life got their panels installed at Wilderness Lakes.
Excellent.
This is awesome, you guys. I think we could just sit here and read chat and just visit with people all night long. This is fantastic. So, F&T says, yes, we are still cleaning out the house and getting her ready to sell. So we clean a little, then the wife starts to cry. We have tea and then start again. I know, you guys. It is so... That downsizing process is really heartbreaking sometimes. It's not an easy thing to go through, but it is worth it. And I don't know, guys, if you...
Slow down.
If you can...
just wait, pause.
Oh.
I'm just watching that we don't have the bit rate going through.
Okay,
back up and running now.
Okay.
Go.
39 years and 2 girls. I hear ya. I hear ya. It is hard.
And you want to hold on to everything. I understand that. Hey, I had the house. I had the 4 bedrooms, the basement, the one that we renovated, the garage, all the motorcycle stuff. And it's like, okay, So,
and the memory stuff too. I think for
Yeah.
me it was like the kids' baby clothes and lots of so many photo albums and pictures that weren't even in the photo albums yet. And if you can find a place to store some of those things, like maybe one of the kids' houses or a storage locker, that can help with the downsizing. Actually, we ended up downsizing in stages, and that was helpful for my emotional state because we could say, okay, these things I'm okay with getting rid of, these ones not so much. And then a year later, oh, you know what? I don't actually feel as attached to those as I thought I would. So then we could get rid of those things, and so on and so on. So
and the way
make it a process.
There's a lot of really good tips on downsizing, like downsizing all your clothes. It's like, oh look, I walk in and I see 80 hangers. That's a lot of stuff, a lot of clothes, and I'm like, I don't wear all that stuff. So what do? You turn all the hangers backwards.
Oh, yeah, that's a good tip.
And you turn the hanger around if you use it. And then at the end of 3 months or 4 months, you say, I've only turned around 21 hangers.
Yeah.
What is all the other clothing that I don't need? Well, they don't fit, they're the wrong color, they're not the right season. And you can start to say, okay, I see what's going on. I had to downsize to get into this rig. I really did.
We still have to downsize. There's lots of times where I'm like, okay, got too much stuff, get rid of it. It looks like RV Living Life. I had the 3-car garage full of tools. It was tough. Yeah, everybody has their thing that is hard to get rid of. So
well, you can't get rid of
But you know what? RV Living Life.
Oh yeah, and there's tools everywhere you go.
I'm thinking it must. Do you feel like it's worth it now? Like if you. Because now RV Living Life is in the States. They're meeting people. They're going to courtside. Like they're having all this amazing life that they're living. Is it worth it? And honestly, sometimes even if you can't travel, just the concept of downsizing can bring you freedom. There's a lady that I follow on YouTube. She's called the Minimal Mom. Sharon, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's called the Minimal Mom, and she always just talks about downsizing and having a more simple life to live, and there's a big payoff for it. So,
and it's weird at the end of, hey, we moved into our RV, all this thing, and all of a sudden it's like, I still have way too many pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
How come?
Yeah. All right, Desert Adventures in Arizona is here, and I saw someone else that I didn't shout out your name. Jim Deuce, he's in the house. That's awesome.
Let's move to the next.
Alrighty, so yes, that's the question of the day. So if you want to keep continuing to do that in the chat, if you're traveling somewhere, put down where you're traveling, and if you're not, just type something fun that you're going to do for the month of January.
Or something that's coming up.
Yeah, some event or something. So I think we're going to go hiking. That's mine. I'm going to type hiking in the chat. All right. So our next thing we want to talk about is winter and weather, and it is way worse than we expected. This is insane. You guys, but it's beautiful.
You're talking over it, right?
So, am I talking over it?
Yep.
Okay, good.
And if there's music.
Look at Ruby. Oh, there is music? Then I'm going to wait, I think.
All right. Oh, sorry. Wrong.
She looks camouflaged in the snow. So I just wanted to make a quick comment on all of that snow because, part of grabbing life by the tail is truly our attitude and how we view life, right? So I think if you guys have spent any time with us, that we're pretty optimistic kind of people. And that one shot of that tree with the ice crystals, just like it was just covered in ice. The whole city was like that, you guys. It was incredible. Like every tree looks like that last night. That's what it looked like. So even though it was scary to drive.
I'll go back to that because the first two, one is that, and then the second one, talk about what you're taking a picture of with Ruby.
Oh, the whole car was encased in ice. Every vehicle was encased in ice last night. So Kent and I do a janitorial job. We do night cleaning.
Yeah.
And when we came out of our place that we cleaned, the car was completely frozen like that. So
yeah. I think Ruby looked in that shot tough.
Oh yeah, she's getting a thick skin. Yeah, she's no sissy sunshine car anymore. Now she's been on the Dempster Highway. She's been up to the Arctic Circle. She's been encrusted in ice.
I didn't do the math.
She's a tough chick.
Lisa and I were talking yesterday. Ruby, in 11 months,
that's right,
went from Corpus Christi at the Gulf of Mexico to the Arctic Circle, and did it well.
Yeah. Yeah,
and those
awesome.
tires we put on to go to the Arctic Circle, well, they're still paying off right now every single day.
Yeah,
it's
if
awesome.
we didn't have those winter tires on, we would not be able to drive around here at all. So, yeah, so just to give you guys an idea of temperature, it did go down to like minus 15, minus 18 over the Christmas holidays. Now it's hovering closer to minus 5 ish, and that's in Celsius, so you'll have to do your own Fahrenheit math on that.
Grassroots living is in the house.
Hey guys, haven't seen you for so long. Oh man, we were just saying earlier how we were missing our friends in the States. So one of these days we got to figure out a way to get down there. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
I'm sure there's some pathways up in the mountains here. Okay, so pathways.
Anyway,
like
so we're just talking about the snow. And yes, we could be depressed, and yes, we could be frustrated or just really angry, I guess, at life circumstances. But I choose to see the beauty in it. I choose to embrace it. I choose to just be cozy and stay home and drink coffee or hot chocolate and put on my cozy clothes. And, you know, it's just, I think it's mostly a mindset. Life is a mindset.
It is. It's your attitude is really 80%.
Yeah.
You know, it's 80% of how you respond to what you've been given, and less than 20% of it's 80% how you respond to it, and then it's 20% of circumstance.
Of actual, like what's actually happening. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And of all of the things we're afraid of, most of them will never happen. Well, maybe in 2021. But anyways, all the things you're afraid of, most of them won't ever happen. And the things that do happen, some of them happen better or well. So, you know, we get all caught up in all of the things that could bring us down for no good reason.
That's true. Yeah, I do struggle with fear. That's something that is a personal struggle of mine, and every once in a while it kind of flares up. I feel like I can get a good handle on it, and
going
then
out
kind of like
adventuring, seeing bears, and she has a struggle with fear.
Yeah. So and even just driving in the ice and snow and stuff, I get a little bit cranky. I get cranky. Did you know that?
She gets cranky. And she also has her motorcycle license, because that was an overcoming of fear choice.
I choose to make decisions in my life that force me to overcome my fears. But doesn't mean it's not a struggle.
How was day 2 of motorcycle training? Like, this is back in 2018, I think.
16. It was the hardest thing I probably had ever done.
Yeah.
It was day 2 of motorcycle training.
She was like,
but I did it.
I don't want to do
And there's
this
some big
anymore.
reasons for that we can talk about later, or you can go check out one of our other videos on our past life and how things all got to where they are.
She did it with her daughter.
Okay, so
anyways, I
it
digress.
looks like Alberta is pretty cold. Everybody's saying how free. Jim Dew says it's been so cold here that the teenagers are zipping up their coats.
No.
I know, like that's really, really cold. And she
grew up in Fort St. John,
not even kidding.
And yes, I would say this for years. She'd walk down the street holding her coat in 2 places so that it would stay
if it was really cold
closed, and I'm like, does the zipper not work, or do you not know how to use a zipper? And she's like,
zippers are dorky. You're only a cool kid if you don't zip up your jacket, even if it's minus 30 outside.
That's because then you'd be a warm kid.
So Jim is actually right. The teenagers will zip up their jackets when it gets really, really cold.
Yes.
Oh, it's so funny. I love that you said that. Jim totally reminds me of being a teenager. Okay, so we have been working. I just said we're doing janitorial cleaning at night.
Because we got to do something so that we can travel in the summer.
But we wanted to talk about working while you're living full-time in your RV, because that is something that a lot of people do, or they feel like they have to wait till they're retired in order to get into their full-time RV life. And I don't think that's the case. I do think that we can find ways to create an income while we live in the RV. What is tricky for us, and this is not something that I would have expected maybe, is it is hard to find seasonal work in Canada in the winter.
Yeah.
So in the summer, it's fine. We've done a couple of campground jobs, campground hosting or yard maintenance or whatever. But this winter's been a little trickier, especially for you.
It has. I looked at a few different options, and I took a couple of different options. And then the floods hit, and those options were gone because I couldn't get there. And they didn't really materialize after the floods and the roads opened because, guess what? It was almost Christmas, which means the opportunities were completed so that the Christmas season, like construction, right? Mm-hmm. People want to be in their house before Christmas. It's just the way it is. So those jobs got completed, and I wasn't part of the completion.
Yeah, so that's hard. And then even to just find something now, we're kind of like, well, we're sort of getting to that, like, not that we're getting to the end, but by spring, we want to have the freedom to travel again.
Yep.
So do we really want to tie ourselves down to a more of a long-term job situation? And I don't know. It's a lot of things to think about.
So I picked up a few different odd jobs, some of them video editing.
Which is perfect. And that's a great segue to what I was going to say next.
I'm sitting at my desk watching the snow come down saying, I don't have to drive anywhere today because I got a project to do that I get paid for sitting right here.
Yeah.
And they're projects that I like.
Well, that's the thing. And video editing is one of those things you can do remotely. So we can either do it here because we're kind of stuck here because of weather as well. I know it looks bad, but it's actually worse in the rest of Canada.
That's right.
So we're kind of stuck here because of weather. And also we are enjoying being here because of family. All of my family and Kent's family are here, except our own children aren't here, but the rest of the family are here. And doing video editing is something we can do here, but it's also something we can take on the road. So
it is, but when we were up in the north, video editing was hard.
Yeah.
I would try for 1 hour to get one file downloaded, and I don't own the download connection, and all of a sudden, it didn't work, it failed, it crashed, I have to start over again, and that was already an hour into it. Just to get one file downloaded so I can start editing and do a job. And the upload was actually okay because it was a short piece that I was uploading. And that was for money, and I couldn't hardly get those jobs done. It was hard. It was a struggle.
But you got it done.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
Yeah. I actually
wait till you get to the city and go to Starbucks.
I actually asked the guy that was taking the footage that I had to edit and said, can you make it smaller pieces? And he did. So I guess what I'm saying is if you are looking at going full-time in your RV and you live in Canada, because I think in the States it's probably a lot easier to get those work camping jobs no matter where you are because the seasons change and the campgrounds are always open depending on where you are in the country. Canada's a lot trickier. So if you're a Canadian, you're looking at full-time RV living, you're going to maybe have to get creative when it comes to finding sources of income. So, yeah. You know, we're Canadian by history. Like, that's just all we've known. So when we traveled down to Palm Desert, we found out that the Thousand Trails there closes during the summer. And we're like,
yeah, it was a shocker.
That's when everybody wants to have a good time. And it's like, because you'll die here.
It's too hot.
It's too hot.
Exactly.
So they're seasonal, but the opposite reason.
Yeah.
That was funny to me. I'm like, that I don't even understand.
Okay, now we're getting into the fun part of the show. Ready?
All right. I like fun.
Here we go. We're going to do Tales of Northern Alberta. It's going to be so
Should
good.
I play it?
Well, just a second. I'm just going to give you, I got to lay it
set
out.
It up.
And
set it up.
That's right, got to set it up. So, as you know, we went to the Yukon in the summer, and it was so much fun. And Kent is very nostalgic, and he likes to reminisce and go back over stuff. So, we figured for some of our live streams this winter, let's go back and reminisce a little bit. And, of course, tell you some of the stories that happened that never made it to the actual videos.
And if you don't go back and look at baby pictures, then why take them?
Well, then why be a baby?
So, like, really? Of course you're going to reminisce and look at that's so cute.
Okay, so this is where it is. We're just going to do an opener intro here. And, did you hit it already?
No. Okay. But not quite enough bit rate for me to send it across, I guess.
Okay, well, we'll give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about some of the stuff that we're seeing.
because this is Athabasca.
Looks like we're back. Oops.
That took us by surprise. Whoa! The video's over, right?
Let's
go.
Careful.
Okay, topic number 1, painting Bessie. We painted the rig, you guys. It was so, it was so scary putting on that first color of paint. I'm like, oh no, we're making a huge mistake.
We'd known for, well, we're dark here. Okay, we've known for 2 years we're going to paint Bessie or do something.
Yeah.
And so we would take off a little bit more of those vinyls when it was hot and it would strip off and when it was flaking.
Oh,
but
that was the worst part.
end where we had to actually put in a ton of effort to get the last bit off, and we did. Yeah. And then we scrubbed it, and then Lisa bought the right paint and put on that first coat.
Yep.
And she's in tears. She's saying, it's so ugly. It's not working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, calm down.
It wasn't the color. I loved the color.
The first coat never looks good. It's okay.
It didn't just not look good. It looked awful.
She thought she had ruined everything, and our plans were creating some disaster.
Yeah. It was not good. And then I did the second coat, and it was slightly improved. And then that third coat, boom, done, perfect. It looks beautiful. The third coat nailed it.
We wanted to do 4 coats, and I said, hold on. We can do a 4th coat later, or a 5th coat even, because we're going up north. Let's let it in. Let's see what happens, and then we'll do a touch up next spring.
Yeah, yeah.
And we already have all the paint.
Yeah.
So we could do a touch up, and it lasted really good.
Yeah.
Anywhere where it's plastic, we've had a couple of fails there, and that's where we would expect it.
Yeah. So really, the only fail area is right in that wheel well.
Yes.
But other than that, everything else looks amazing. We might not even need to do a 4th coat, but I think we will, just to give it that finished layer.
We've had a few people say, did you paint that? It's like, have you ever seen another rig that looks like this?
So she's one of a kind. I mean, she's one of a kind anyway, but now she really looks like one of a kind. So, yeah, so we did the painting job. I'm just trying to think if there's any other... Oh! Behind the scenes information that you'll never know about unless you're listening to our live streams tonight. The wasps. Do you remember the wasps?
Oh, my goodness.
They were incessant all over us the whole time we were painting.
Washing it, scrubbing it, and putting on the paint. And it's like, careful.
So I don't know if
there's one right behind you.
I don't know if it was you know what I would think it was? It was so dry.
Yes.
And so hot that they liked the moisture content of the water that we use to clean the rig, as well as the moisture content of the paint. I was worried that they were liking the red.
Yeah.
Or the smell of it.
And that wasn't the case.
And that would be like a permanent thing, but no, I don't think so.
It was too dry.
It was the moisture.
And it was going after water.
Yeah. Yeah. But they were everywhere. So literally, I'm painting, and Kent and Emily, our youngest daughter, were out there with the fly swatters trying to keep the wasps away. Yeah. It is a miracle that none of us got stung.
That's right.
When we did that. Now, I did get stung that same time, a couple days before we painted at Emily's house, but that was a different situation. There was a wasp nest under her front steps. So.
Yes.
But yeah, it's...
That I got to take care of.
Crazy. Those wasps are just crazy. But yes, it was really nice to get it all
done.
There
are no wasps out right now.
See? That's another glass half full kind
there
of comment.
You go.
There's no wasps. There's no mosquitoes. We are going to talk about mosquitoes tonight too. Anyway, so you guys, it's so good to see the chat happening. Just take a little bit of a break here. We got Oui Don VR is in the room. I don't know. Are you guys in Arizona right now? Are you camping with Grassroots Living?
Somebody's camping.
Claude from it is.
Yes,
it's Claude. You guys, so good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Ken and I, when we were showing that video, I think Dean and Shalane and the Bell. I think that's who it is. Anyway, so that's awesome. Love you guys. Glad you guys
got that little clip regarding the kind of paint we use.
Well, people want to know what kind of paint it is, so let's tell you. Here it is.
So when you're going up north, and you paint your rig, and you're going into the wilds, and you want to keep the moose from being on the roads and hitting you, and the deer and the elk, there's only one way to do it. Use bear paint.
And we're back.
That's a little throwback from our Tuesdays that we used to do. So
hey,
hope you had fun with that.
I recorded something way up at the Arctic Circle that we might actually use a little bit of someday.
Maybe.
Probably in a live
stream.
We've
got lots of footage just hanging around. So stick around for the live streams, because that's where you get the good stuff. Or Patreon, that's where you also get the good stuff. Alrighty, so that was the paint. The other thing, so after we did that, we hit the road and we started heading north. And we went to a place called Star Rest Area.
Yep.
It's kind of northeast of Edmonton. just past Fort Saskatchewan there.
Yeah, if you go to north, just a bit east of Edmonton and went straight, whatever highway that is, you go through Star.
Yeah, and I don't.
It's not like it's a destination or anything.
Yeah, and
it's just that we were close to there, and all of a sudden there's this parking lot that's wide open.
So we just pulled over to the
flat.
parking lot to relax for a bit, and while we were there, we weren't going to stay overnight or anything. We were just going to like have lunch.
A storm was
something.
developing. There was a few storms in the area, and all of a sudden it's like, let's just stay the night.
But it was a huge storm. I don't think we have any footage of that, do we?
No.
No, but it was a huge, huge storm.
But it wasn't coming right over us, so that was good.
But we didn't know. Like,
we didn't know.
We were looking at it. It was like coming across the prairies, and of course it's flat prairie. You can see storms coming from miles away, and it was just coming straight at us. I could feel the wind picking up, and I was just a bit nervous to hit the road and drive with that wind. And also in that area of Alberta, they have had tornadoes.
Oh yes.
And this was I looked it up. It was August 7th. So
yeah,
that's in tornado season. So
for Alberta.
Yeah, and I was again, I told you at the beginning here, I have a little fear thing that I have to deal with, and I was afraid.
Did you say little?
Okay, well, I'm working on it.
I got to deal with it all the time.
But
like hers.
I was afraid of the whole tornado situation, and in that rest area there was a concrete bathroom area, like an outhouse area. So I thought, well, if it gets really bad, we can run to the outhouse.
Did you ever check to see if it was open?
I did.
Oh, good.
I looked inside and made sure that it was even clean enough that we could go in there.
Good. So. Picnic time.
Exactly. Well, maybe not clean enough for a picnic in an outhouse, but
Yeah.
Ooh, gross.
No.
Anyway, the tornado never did show up, but you know what did show up after that storm passed over was a huge rainbow. It was full, like right from this side, off the whole arch, all the way to the other side.
On our next clip,
Beautiful.
you see a green field for a few seconds, or a couple seconds. That was where we stayed overnight at the field, and so we had a good view of everything.
Yeah, it was beautiful. But
And there's something else in this clip that's coming up, and that is the starting point where people get really...
We're not there yet.
Oh.
You gotta follow the thing.
See, she gets full of fear sometimes. I get full of excitement. And you put those two things together, and it's called dynamite.
Yeah, and sometimes it means fighting. So just so as y'all know, that does happen with us. Anyway,
right. Ow.
So yes, I just want to say with the Star rest area situation is follow your gut. And even though there was no tornado, I was still glad that we stayed put for that night.
Yeah.
Then we went up to Athabasca, and that is basically just a small town. It's on the Athabasca River. In the video that we did, we talked a little bit about the history of the river and what it was, the usefulness of it during the gold rush, that kind of thing. So you can go back and watch that info if you like. The cool thing that I love about the Athabasca River is that it starts in the Columbia ice fields in Jasper National Park.
Yeah, and it goes into Lesser Slave, I think.
It goes into Greater Slave.
Slave.
Wow. Actually, it goes to Athabasca Lake, and then from there, all that water goes into Greater Slave Lake, and then it goes into I think it's the Mackenzie Delta, and into the Arctic Ocean. So it was just kind of cool to have that concept of connection. A river, that connects geographically, it connects our country, but this area of the country, but also a river can connect people. And I just want to say one thing before you keep talking. Keeps interrupting me.
Right.
But that's probably because I don't stop to take a breath. The one thing I just wanted to say is the Athabasca River actually goes to or ends. Or let me see here. I wrote it down. Lake Athabasca is near Fort Chipewyan.
Oh.
Kent, have you ever heard me say Fort Chipewyan?
Yes, a few times.
Mm-hmm. I have ancestors that came from Fort Chip, so that is kind of cool for me. I've never been there, and I cannot wait to go.
And we would have gone in the summer had it been more of an opportunity for us to drive there versus
it's hard
Yukon.
to get to. You pretty much have to fly in.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead and say what you want to say
and
now.
My wings
before
just
we
aren't
move
working
in. We're not doing this video yet. Just wait.
Okay.
So do you have anything else to say?
No, nothing.
So I give him an opportunity to speak, and he has nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
He just likes me.
I will say that I know that Grassroots Living want to go to the Yukon really badly, so we did it for you, I guess.
No, we
paved the way.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And we would love to take a group of people up to the Yukon. So
we actually would, yes. And there's one place, and I'm going to mention it right now, even if it's the wrong timing. There's one location in Dawson Creek, British Columbia, where when you're going to the Yukon or Alaska, when you get to this one location, you know you're starting the journey on the right foot. We're going to see that in a minute.
We're not quite there yet, because before we got there, we went to Lesser Slave Lake.
Yes. Lesser Slave was excellent.
And okay, so we use these words Greater Slave Lake and Lesser Slave Lake. If you Google those two places, you will see that they're both gigantic.
Yeah, Lesser Slave is really huge, and Greater Slave is
even
really
huger.
huge.
It's even huger. Is that a word?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Lesser Slave Lake. I don't know if you guys remember that video, but it was a gorgeous lake. It looks kind of like the ocean because you can't see the shore on the other side. But it had a blue-green algae bloom in it, so we couldn't swim in it. Daphne couldn't go playing in it. Other than that, it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And one of these days, I want to go back so that we can just like go camping there for a week. I think that'd be amazing.
Have you ever been to Palm Desert and you walk by some of the trees and they sound like an electrical current hum, where they're just buzzing? Bzz. It sounds like an electrical short out of one of the big electrical boxes, and it's just like bzz in Palm Desert. So I've seen that a few times. Lisa said, "Well, those are bugs," and I'm like, "Come on, sure." And
it
she's
was
like,
weird.
"Oh yeah, they were."
I said, and actually, if you sat quietly, which we did for a bit, and we listened, it sounded like a swarm of bees.
Yes.
And I was a little bit freaked. There's a theme to this video.
No
I was
way.
afraid. No, I was like, is that a swarm of bees?
Yeah.
And how far away are they? So we're just careful. We're just listening, and the sound didn't get any louder.
No, it stays in the trees. So when we were in Lesser Slave, we heard a similar kind of sound.
Oh, I thought you already said that. Sorry.
No, when we were in Lesser Slave.
Sorry.
Come on, Lisa. We heard
read
a
and listen
similar
to
sound.
you
It wasn't quite as intense, but it was there. And we're like, where is this sound coming from? And there was these little bugs with pretty big wings. They didn't bother us. And it was like, is that what's making the sound? Because there's thousands of them. And it just seemed like there was this buzz coming from somewhere, but it was everywhere. And it was weird. And the trees, like there's birds flying up over the trees, but these bugs were between the top of the trees and where we were. And it was just weird to have this sound, and you're like, where is that coming from?
So we actually ended up going to the lake again and going out to the beach, and there were thousands of birds just flying right at that level, like Kent just said, just eating. They're just like feasting on all the mosquitoes and bugs. But we didn't see, we didn't experience that. We weren't getting eaten by mosquitoes or anything. It was just that they were in that higher up level. And Diary of a Family sent us a super chat.
Oh my gosh! And Karen Gann is in the house.
Hi Karen, nice to see you. And Doug D is in the house, I see as well. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for your super chat. Let's read it out loud. It says, "We love y'all. We were wondering if Lisa was becoming a Texan by saying y'all." Hold
on a second.
I think in my heart.
Look at that. You guys are a superhero.
You guys are super chat heroes. Thank you so much. Yes, I think in my heart I'm becoming Texan. I really do. I think that's just the way it is. Who knows? Maybe that's
Ruby
where we'll end
still
up.
has the front windshield sticker, 2021.
Yep.
We don't need the 21-22 sticker.
Yeah.
Because that's still, she's a Texan. She's still a Texan girl that loves to see the world.
She's like me. She's a Texan girl who's now living in Canada. I'm a Canadian girl who wants to live in Texas.
Yes.
Anyway, you guys, that was the weirdest. Yes, thank you so much, Garrett and Carolyn and the kids. You guys are amazing, and we so appreciate the super chat. So we will be giving you guys that shout out in the description below this video when we're done. So. Awesome. Okay, so that was Lesser Slave Lake. That was the swarming sound of the mosquitoes or bugs or whatever. But we didn't feel like we were being eaten by mosquitoes.
No, we weren't being bothered. If someone does a PayPal instead of a super chat, because I know some people want the alternative and they do a PayPal instead, in all caps say, "I gave you a super chat on PayPal."
Yes. And we'll give you the same celebration.
And ask your question even.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it has to be in caps so that we notice it. Or our moderators.
Or our moderators will say, "Hey, guys, hello."
Let's finish our conversation about bugs and mosquitoes. Everybody asks us, how bad were the mosquitoes when you were in the Yukon or when you were traveling north? And I'll tell you, I did not feel that it was overwhelming. There were some situations where we definitely needed bug spray.
Where?
Sort of at the beginning of our trip, like I would say the month of August.
Yes.
So we would need that. When
Up
we
at
went,
Jasper, was that okay?
When we went to Liard, I had that whole mosquito net thing on my face because there were a few mosquitoes there.
I was going to say Liard, there were the bugs at Liard enough.
Yeah.
And there was wasps. And but that was starting to be the end of
mosquito coils, bug spray.
Yeah.
and screens for sure. But once we got kind of into Whitehorse and into even Watson Lake,
Yeah.
I don't remember there being very many mosquitoes or bugs. Now, that's probably because of the time of year that we went.
Correct.
So, like August 7th, we're in Star Rest area.
Yeah.
So that means probably by like mid-September, as you're getting farther north, the mosquitoes were no big
No,
deal.
we were up Dempster by
Oh, that's true.
by the end of August, beginning of September, by like September 2nd.
Where was your birthday?
Where? Oh my gosh.
I don't remember these things.
I know when it was.
Yes,
Well,
we always know
I
when
only
your
know
birthday is.
I only know what
Just
day
to
my
know
birthday
where-
is because somebody told me.
We don't know
I don't
where you
remember
were.
my actual birthday.
Exactly. Anyway, so there you go. If you go to the Yukon in June,
Yeah.
you will probably get eaten by mosquitoes.
Yeah, they're really hungry
and big
and they are
everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And you won't be able to keep them out of your rig. And you will see the midnight sun on June 21st.
Yes, which means you will not see
You will not see northern
Aurora
lights.
Borealis.
Exactly. So if you go to the Yukon in like August, September, October,
Yeah.
you won't have as many bugs. You will not see the midnight sun, but you will see northern lights. And you still, like, when we were there was still a lot of daylight. Like, it's not like it's not that you missed that whole concept. But anyway.
It's fun. Oh, there is another
We
kind of
digress.
a bug you will or fly that you will see at the end of
Pinch bugs.
No. I'm
There's lots
thinking
of pinch
at the
bugs.
end of September in Yukon, you're going to see snowflies. Which
That's
is
true. Snowflies
snow.
are pretty crazy up there. Yeah, for sure. Excellent. All right, let's moving on. Then we went from Lesser Slave Lake to Spirit River. And how was that drive?
that drive. I don't think it was. It was only breezy, like a lot, but not the worst breeze that I've ever had or wind. But it was good intent, good intense. Yeah.
See, he forgets.
I forget. You know what? I
Because if
fight
you watch
through it,
the
and
video,
I'm like, I'm
you'll
fine.
see he's like, I'm so exhausted because it was so windy.
We stopped off at one little town. There was nothing to do there, and I just needed the break because of the angle that the wind was hitting me. It's like, this is a fight constantly. Mm-hmm. But you know, when the fight's over, I don't care. It's like, we're done. We got here where we wanted. And when we stayed overnight in where was it? Where did you just say?
Spirit
River. We just parked, found a place to stay, made sure we were aimed the right direction so the wind wasn't buffeting us, and we were fine.
Was fine. Grassroots Living says, did the bugs bother you all day long, or was it only at dusk? And if it was in the buggy season, they would bother you all day long.
Yes.
It's like every time you get out of the vehicle, there's mosquitoes all over you. Worse at dusk for sure, and probably at dawn. But I never get up that early, so I don't know about dawn. But definitely at dusk, you would feel them.
Yes. And when you're in a
Increase.
motorhome, guess what? You have one door that lets the bugs in.
Yeah, exactly. So, but thankfully, like I said, we went at a good time of year where they kind of tapered off the farther north we went. So, what is No Bite Me Cream? Have you guys tried No Bite Me Cream? I just bought some. Oh, Doug, that's good. I wonder what the link is for that. Well, maybe we'll look for that on Amazon and put a link in the description below. So, but yeah, that would be good. I usually just use Deep Woods Off or what else did I use?
I got another question.
Watkins bug lotion. Okay, we got another super chat. You guys, thank you so much. RV Living Life. You guys are amazing. I can't remember their names. Do you remember their names? Dawn?
No, it's...
I'm so bad with names.
Okay, I'm thinking for sure it's Jeff.
Type your name in the chat if you want us to call you out by your first name, because we can't remember.
Because I used to remember.
meeting you guys here in the campground. You had
Hold
a
on.
pair of pictures.
Whoa, superheroes.
Yes, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your super chat. I'm going to read your chat out loud. It says, you two do a great show. Thank you so much. You are just as entertaining in person. Everyone needs to meet you. We enjoyed it. You guys are amazing. We enjoyed meeting you too, and I apologize we don't remember your names.
We did not spend any time with you
I
guys.
wish we could have.
I'm
It
so
was
sorry.
super busy.
It's not our normal.
Yeah,
but
normally
we
when
had
I
just
hang out.
arrived. Lisa's family was like vampires gonna suck our blood because they're like, you're finally here. And so we had a few people over.
Suckers.
Yes, that's true.
Speaking of mosquitoes.
Yeah, those are the kind that don't go away. And so we didn't have time.
I got it now.
We didn't have an hour. Yes.
Gary and Carol.
There you go.
Thank you
Gary
so much,
and Carol.
Gary and Carol.
Yes.
You guys are amazing. We won't forget now. If it's written down, I've seen it, I've met you, and we would love to meet you guys again.
Yes.
So when you come back to Canada, if we're still hanging out here, let's do that.
And because
campfire.
you're down there, go see some of our friends.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hanging out. Eat some of that grapefruit.
Yes.
Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you so much for your super chat. You guys are amazing. We totally love your support and it encourages us. It's a huge encouragement for us. So thank you.
Super.
All right, now, Kent, now you can play
What?
the next little video
Are you
clip
kidding?
so we can get into the next section of Tales of the North.
We told you that we are heading north and that we've already headed north and we've seen a lot of things up in the north. But for most people, there's one place that says, now you're traveling north.
And that would be the Mile Zero in Dawson Creek, Mile Zero for the Alaska Highway.
Like this place, you know, like this is where most people say, now you're traveling north.
We're doing it. Buffalo are like right there on the highway. How cool is that? Oh.
There we go.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh,
Oh man.
that's so nostalgic for me.
Aw,
It brings
kids having
back
a
so
moment.
much. I was there.
All right, I know you guys are writing in the comments, bucket list, can't wait to go. I want to go to Alaska, all these things, and I think you should.
I think you really
think you
should.
should.
And
We've never been to
choose-
Alaska. Well, we've been, but not with the RV.
As we said, choose wisely. Ask as many people as you can, what exact time should I go? Don't go in June and everything's green and that's all you get if you want to see all the colors.
Yeah.
And if
You have to know what you want.
And if you want to go, canoeing and you don't want to get bitten by all kinds of bugs, make sure you choose wisely on that timing also.
And if you don't want to get stuck by a snowstorm, don't go too late in the season either. So, yeah, but we'll be talking more about Yukon and travel plans and probably on our next live stream, because I also have a giveaway, and I'll tell you what it is, just so it's not like a huge suspense thing, but I'll tell you what it is. It is, I actually gathered a whole bunch of brochures and travel maps and all that stuff from all the info centers for our trip in the Yukon. And so if you want some of those like hands-on flipping through, making plans for your trip, Dean and Shalane, I know that's something that you would love to have.
Yeah.
And I know lots of the rest of you too. So that's going to be our giveaway for our next live stream. So.
And if you can't RV anymore, okay, you just don't have it in you.
Or maybe you don't even have an RV. Lots of people follow us that don't even have an RV.
And you can put together a little trip, fly into Whitehorse.
Yes.
Rent a car,
Yes.
stay in a hotel, drive around, and do that 10 days worth of
There's lots of tours.
just exploring. You will see some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
saying.
Yeah. You can still go.
Want to say that that somebody asked how fast that reindeer was running. I'm going to call it a reindeer. And he was
You just
he's a
ignored
young
like
little.
half the
I know
people.
he's a young little buck, and I think and he, I'm sure he could run 30 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, we were going pretty slow.
We were really inching along,
'cause
but
we
then
didn't want to cause a problem.
He started to go faster than us, so we started to speed up.
Yeah, we were racing.
It was
pretty
fun.
It was hilarious, actually.
It was excellent.
But I just want to go back a little bit to...
Until they're connected to Santa's sleigh. Then they go way faster.
Oh, then they fly.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody knows that. So Alaska Highway Mile 0 is in Dawson Creek. And I don't know if you guys know this, but my mom grew up in Dawson Creek. I've got aunties and uncles and cousins in Dawson Creek and friends in Fort St. John. I grew up in Fort St. John, which is only about 45 minutes away from Dawson. And it was just really fun to be in there, old stomping grounds, hanging out, visiting with family, and just being there. It was awesome.
Mary Lou and Grabowski's in the house.
Hey, Mary Lou, you guys made it. Yay! Good to see you. I love it. I love that you're here. All right, so Mom grew up in Dawson Creek. When we were in Fort St. John, we went camping with our friends.
Yes, we did.
With Wendy and Chris. That was fantastic. So I've known Wendy since grade 5?
Yeah.
Grade 4? I think it was grade 5. We've been friends forever. So it's just been really cool to be able to go and visit them and hang out with them. And just, her backyard was Daphne's favorite place.
Yes. Daphne just laid down there and said,
hilarious.
thank you for the water, thank you for the food, and thank you for having a fenced yard so I don't even have to think about something that might be coming up behind me. And she's like, I don't want to move.
Like laid on her back, all fours in the air, and just fell sound asleep. She has such a good time at Wendy's place.
She would have stayed there forever.
I think she would have. I think that would be her.
Tip.
She's looking at us right now. She's like, can we go back?
Tip for you. When you're in Dawson Creek and you're at the wonderful place that says Mile 0, that's close to Mile 0, but actually on the highway, 2 blocks up and 1 block in is the actual cairn that has the 3 flags on it, and it's in the middle of a intersection, and that is actually the Mile 0. So if you want to actually see that, just take a little walk near that grain elevator, 2 blocks up, and you can look down or drive there.
Yeah.
But most people take their picture at the big grain elevator area that says Mile 0, and people get excited there because it's like we are on the Alaska Highway, we are going to see our adventures, and we're making it happen.
It does feel like the start. Like it takes a lot just to get there, but it does feel like the start. Well, it is. It's the start of the Alaska Highway. We've got Clayton Vogel in the house. He says he was in Alaska for months in 2018 from June to the end of September. Oh,
cool.
See, Alaska is a place that we have only barely touched. We went there on the motorcycle a few years ago. But yeah, we can't wait to spend more time in Alaska.
The Inside Passage, that was all amazing.
Yes,
Frederick Sound.
all the whales, that was incredible.
Yeah, over 100.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Seriously.
That's awesome. All right, we are getting close. We got only a few. We're going to go over time a little bit. So
we don't want to go over time by much
but
because, you know what? But we have to tonight.
I know you guys have plans to do.
Well, we had some technical difficulties to get started, so we're going to eat up a little bit more time.
We also have to work tonight, so we can't stay too late. Okay, let's talk. Okay, first of all, at the Mile 0, we put a Living Light RV sticker on the back of one of the signs there.
Yep.
I know
there's not a lot of signs.
Somebody was there and they saw it and they told us, and I wish I knew who you were. If you're in the chat or if you're watching this video, email us please, because we'd love to send you a sticker of Living Light RV.
Yeah.
Because you actually saw it there. And if you go there and you see it, send us a photo of you with it. Do a hashtag LLRV North 21 if you think of it. Just send us an email, info@livinglightRV.com, and we will send you that sticker. We are running out of stickers. We only have a few left.
The mule stopped arriving.
Yeah, so we can't send a sticker to everybody, but if you have gone to Mile 0 and you see our sticker, please let us know.
Take a picture.
Reindeer or versus caribou?
Okay, guess what? Back in the 1940s and way before, they were always called reindeer.
They were.
Okay, so historically you'll see, oh, look at the reindeer herds.
Absolutely.
In North America.
We were at Eagle Plains Motel.
Yep.
Really close to the Arctic Circle, and they had historic pictures all on the walls in the hallway, which were fascinating to look at. And a lot of them are pictures of reindeer herds, reindeer
farms.
What do they call them? The people that take care of them, not shepherds, but
handlers.
Like reindeer.
They were elves.
Reindeer farms, not elves.
No. Doesn't matter.
They're like.
Move on.
Like, what do you do if you're like taking care of a reindeer? You're a reindeer.
You're a game warden. I know what to do with a reindeer.
I totally thought Ken had this. Anyway, they're called reindeer on all of those photos, and they would use them. They would tame them. They would raise them. They would use them for packing stuff and probably for eating them and keeping them warm. All that stuff. So, all of those photos call them reindeer. Now, I think they are more technically called caribou.
Now,
And there really is no difference between a reindeer and a caribou other than where they live. That's the research that I've done. That's what I have found.
and what society has decided.
And yeah,
that
it's one of
their
those
official name
etymology
is.
kind of things.
Yes.
Same with the buffalo and the bison. So
Yes.
we've been calling these big brown animals buffalo on our videos, and people are getting like, they're bison, they're bison.
Mary Lou Grabowski says they're called herders.
Thank you, reindeer herders. That's it. Good thing I've got smarter people than me that I hang
she
out
typed
with.
it in caps just to make sure we see
Yes,
it.
and that is what they were called, reindeer herders. So anyway, thank you, Mary Lou. Buffalo, bison, same kind of idea. It's just that the word has changed now to bison. A lot of the bison herds that are in that area that we have seen came out of Wood Buffalo National Park. So they have traditionally and historically been called buffalo, and now they're called bison. So,
And if you ask Diary of a Family's youngest, he'll say they're bison.
yes. And calling them bison isn't wrong. It's
No,
right. And
it is
calling a
correct.
reindeer a caribou is also right.
Right. But
So-
they have had, for now, they're called bison, and their nickname is buffalo.
Well, your cousin had a whole herd of buffalo.
That's what he
And
told
he
me.
would call them like this. He'd say, "Here, Buffy, 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 Buffy."
Yeah. And you
And
can't
they
let
would all
them
come running.
And you can't let them get tame, or else the fences don't matter anymore. So you
That's right.
need to not let them be
They
tame.
need to be a little bit afraid of
A little bit
people.
wild.
Yeah, exactly. What else about the Alaska Highway? Let's see. There's very little cell connection once you get past Fort Nelson.
Okay,
So,
and a tip for you. We're on the Rogers network, and we got no data. Like, data was, like, really skinny. I made a phone call to support, and they said, oh, you have to actually go into roaming and set it up for that so that you can use all of the Bell network towers when you're up in the Yukon. And I had no idea. So I set mine for roaming. Then I would use the Bell. She says there's no extra charge, but you need to set your phone to roaming, so you're on a different network.
yeah. But even with that, there were lots of times that we would go 2 or 3 days with no
yeah.
cell connection at all.
Or way longer.
So, and we would know that. You can look at the map and kind of say, okay, we're not going to be in connection. So I would text the kids or phone the kids and say, hey, you know, we're not going to be able to get a hold of us for a few days. This is
Yeah.
where we're headed. This is where we're expected to go next, and that kind of thing, just to keep in touch with people. But yeah, so just be aware of that. And I think the last kind of thing I want to say about that clip of that video, just to
Yes.
review it a little bit, is Toad River. Toad River was an amazing, cute little town
Yep.
just on the highway. We had stayed there when we were on the motorcycle on the
Yes.
trip in 2016.
And it was awesome because it was just such an oasis.
So relaxing.
It's like, wow, a little tiny lake or
And-
river.
Yeah.
But it was a lake. And I think there's a river across the road. And it just was like, this is an awesome destination. Just on the Alaska Highway and just an oasis.
Oh, yes. I just saw a comment from Mary Lou. She says, we live by the Fort McLeod buffalo jump. They do. See, they call it the buffalo jump. They don't
I know.
call it a bison jump. So I think it's just a traditional way of calling those animals as buffalo.
If you
And
have
yes, the buffalo jumps are incredible. We actually toured that this last summer. It was
What
fun.
are you going to shoot if you have a buffalo rifle? I don't know.
Well, you can't call it bison plaid. It's called buffalo plaid.
and yeah. There
Anyway.
you go.
I've got a tickle in my
Anyways,
throat.
we got to keep moving. But I want one more thing to say on that clip also was, oh yes, if you're on the Alaska Highway and you want to see bison, well, the herd that we saw always live on that corridor. Okay? And the loners walk up and down the corridor also. So the chances of seeing bison is high. Like, almost everybody that drives up that and down that corridor sees them. So,
We are getting a few comments in the chat, Kent, about people who are a bit nervous taking their big rigs up that highway, up
Yeah.
the Alaska Highway. So, a lot of people, we saw a ton of rentals. We saw a ton of like the Canada Dream, the Class C's
Yeah.
or whatever, camper trucks, that kind of stuff. So,
Oh, yeah.
camper trucks, campers on trucks. I don't know.
There you
what
go.
you call it. Anyway, so if you are really nervous about taking your big rig up there, especially if it's your home, I know that can be a bit nerve wracking. Go ahead and you can just rent an RV and just bring the stuff you need and do that. Or
there's a ton of the Class A's that drive
I was
the
gonna
Alaska
say-
Highway all the way
Yeah.
up to Whitehorse
Yeah, I think-
without a problem.
if you stay on the main roads and you're not taking like the side roads and the logging roads and you're not
Yeah.
trying to boondock in the middle of the bush, You're not going to take the Dempster Highway or the Top of the World Highway.
Right.
Maybe not even up to Kluane. That highway up there gets a little bit crazy after Burwash as well. If you're just going to stay on the main roads, you can take your big rig. Yeah,
the Alaska Highway today is a fully maintained, paved highway, except for the places that they're doing construction.
Well, the construction zones are a little crazy, but you just go nice and slow, and you have a pilot car usually that tells you exactly where to go.
And the roads may not be right.
Yeah,
be very good. So
exactly.
Yes, there is merit for saying I don't want to take my big rig up there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, taking a van or renting a vehicle or buying something and then reselling it when you get back, those are all good options as well. So, all right, I think we would like to feature. Feature another channel because we just feel like this is community. This is what we do. We support one another. We just show the love and spread it around to everybody. So the feature channel for tonight is, drum roll please, Melanetti from Melanetti Living Free Zip Codeless. Woo-hoo!
And here's the feature, and then we'll see you.
Okay, we're in Yellowstone Park, and we're getting ready to check out this Clearwater Springs. And walk down this little ramp and check behind us, and right back down there in the springs, or see what it all looks like, take some pictures, or
see how clear water is.
Yeah. See if it lives up to its name.
Right.
You guys, Melanetti are incredibly amazing, friendly, warm, generous, loving, caring, kind, compassionate. I mean, these guys are salt of the earth kind of people. So you definitely want to go check out their channel. They are at 954 subscribers. Last time I checked, that was this afternoon. So let's do what we can to get them over that 1,000 mark. It's a huge milestone for YouTubers to get to 1,000. So just if we could just all head over there, show them some love, watch a couple videos, make some comments, subscribe to their channel, that would be amazing. And it would just be one little way that we can give back to Melanetti. They have given us so much.
If it wasn't for LLRV, Living Light RV, and knowing Melanetti when it was necessary, our channel would have gone off the side of the road into the ditch a couple of different times.
Hey, we might have gone off the side of the road into the ditch a few times, like personally.
Yeah.
So getting all emotional.
They're a part.
We love
of
you
who
guys.
we are.
Yeah, they absolutely are. So head over to their channel. They just did a whole series on Yellowstone. They have an incredible footage, some really beautiful shots of the waterfalls and walking along pathways. Melanetti, when I watched your last video, I really felt like I was with you on that trail, on that hike. So you're doing an amazing job with your channel, and we just appreciate you, and we appreciate what you're doing for the YouTube community and the RV community. So, and you know what? They are hanging out with Greg and Shelley.
Yeah, they are.
So we'll give Greg and Shelley an honorable mention. Dave's Great Adventures. So head on over to that channel as well. And I haven't watched a video recently, but I'm going to go check out your stuff and see where you guys are at for subs. So show both of those channels some love tonight, you guys. We appreciate that. That's awesome. So, and speaking of Melanetti, they are moderators. So if you've been watching our chat with the blue, Melanetti put their link in the chat, right? I'm pretty sure I saw you guys do that. So go ahead and click on their link there. So if you're a moderator and you have a blue name with a blue wrench, go ahead and put your channel or your Instagram or Facebook or whatever you want in there, because we thank you. We just totally appreciate what you guys do for this channel. You make it safe.
We were there in Texas for an event when Melanetti had been full-time for about 2 weeks. And they had looked forward to it for so long. They had worked hard. They had been living in their RV, but they were still working the job, looking forward to that retirement day when they could hit the road big time. And we saw them at Medina Lake. And that was them launching their full-time RV travel, living free, zip codeless life.
Yeah,
And
God has
oh my
really
gosh.
orchestrated some of those meetups that we've had with people, and
I think they would say it's worth it.
yes, I think they would definitely say it's worth it. So yeah, so anyway, that is amazing, and I know we've said this before. You guys might not know this, but Mel and Eddie actually gave us our car.
Yes.
They, like I said, they're generous
They
beyond
said,
measure.
we came down to Texas and they
Yeah.
handed us the keys and said, it's yours.
It's amazing. So Ruby, the red car that you saw earlier today with the ice all over the front of it,
Yeah.
that used to be Mel and Eddie's car. So they
Yes.
gave her to us, and we are so incredibly grateful, so thankful to them. So for their friendship as well as everything else that they have offered us. So yeah, go ahead and check out Mel and Eddie Living Free Zip Code List. That's
Yeah.
the name of their channel, and show them some love. So, and other moderators, thank you again. Thank you for keeping this a safe place and hanging out with us tonight. And I think we're basically
Good
done.
night,
You guys have a good
Econobox
night.
Garage.
We love you all. Go out there, grab
Yeah.
life by the tail, and we'll see you guys next Friday. We're going to put a video out next Friday.
Yep.
We have no idea what the topic is. We're talking about it. We have
Well.
some ideas, but we're not totally sure. It's going to be awesome, though. So we'll see you guys next Friday. Get out there. Go grab life by the tail, and we'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye, Dad.
We'll fix our mic by next time.